thing. So Eye Candy Quilts, we have always been scrap quilters. So I want to be able to mix all of the beautiful fabrics that everyone makes. I want to put it all together and have it work and play together. So I am always a fan that of things that play nice with others. And I think Giuseppe's fabrics work well. In saying that, like I said, I'm a big scrap quilter. There are a number of Australian pattern designers that okay, so again, there's just a lot of words that I use. I call them kitchen sink quilters. And
Okay.
it's fabulous because you throw in everything but the kitchen sink. They throw in the kitchen sink and it's fantastic. And so I look at their quilts and like, okay, how did they use color? How did they use pattern? Why does this work so well? And it's because again, scrappy, you can throw everything in and it works. And I love all of those things. So
One of my favorites is Red Pepper Quilts. She's
oh yeah.
Australian. And she
Mhm.
puts together all sorts of random fabrics. And I'm like, oh my God, I
It's
am
so
such an
beautiful.
engineer. I would be like, it can't have a red, touch a red. And I can't have a purple, touch a purple. And
Oh my
I've
God.
got to sprinkle it all throughout. And yeah.
Yeah, that's my mom has that thing, and so I go over, I call it the cat maneuver. If she's laying stuff out, I just go over and I go, and then she's like, "What did you do?" I'm like, "It'll be fine. Just sew some stuff."
Wait,
Like
no, so you have to do that for everyone again. What's the cat maneuver?
cat maneuver. Like so I had a cat so that no lie, she looked me straight. I was making English paper piecing. I was making prepping these little tiny things and making my little stacks of these perfect little tiny hexagon things.
Mhm.
And I had them in a little box and she came over, jumped on the couch, looked me dead in the eye, put her hands in the box and went like this. And then she ran away. I'm like, "You are such a brat." So that's my cat maneuver.
Oh, I
Yeah.
like this. I feel like I'm going to start talking to my children that way. Whenever they're
Yeah.
telling me things I don't want to hear, I'm just going to do this motion. I'm going to
Yeah,
do a
it's
cat
true. It
motion.
helps, and
I
then they'll
love
do
it.
it
I
back
love
to you, and then you'll never
it.
get rid of it.
All right. All right. So tell us, what future projects are you working on, Annalise?
I have new patterns,
Mhm.
I have new patterns. I have new patterns that I have drawn and I have the math done. I have new applique patterns that I have drawn that I have to decide what fabrics I want to do. I have stacks of fabric. Oh, there's going to be a cool new thing that I'm working on with some other Andover designers and then other pattern designer friends. So we're working on that right now and I'm not supposed to announce it, I don't think. So don't pay attention. Just come and look at all of our stuff.
You are here, but you
It's
didn't hear it
fine.
here.
It's
Yes.
fine. I didn't say the name. It's fine.
I don't know.
But like we just finished up with Andover designer friends. Speaking of quilt market, is that's a lot of times where you can go meet all the people that you text with or you email with, and like, oh look, you do have a face. So we
No.
came up with a plan
So in
and did
that
our
case,
mirror
right,
makers training.
you meet those designers, right? And like,
Right.
do you call Giuseppe Juicy Juice? Like, I feel like, do you call like brand name or like real name? Like, I know him as Giuseppe, or G actually is how I call
Yeah,
him.
like I call him both because again, I get called Eye Candy Quilts all the time which is part of the reason why we are Eye Candy Quilts is not only we're two people, but my name is not easy to spell or pronounce. So it's like I'm just Eye Candy Quilts. If you say Eye Candy Quilts, I'll turn around and it'll be fine.
That's
So
fantastic. Well,
yeah.
and it's super secret. Her name's not Tula Pink.
No,
No,
no, it's not.
no,
I
but yeah.
yeah, I have random like none of them are bad stories, but like I have a random story with that stuff too. So, and that's the other thing, like as I pat my gray hair, I was like, I keep forgetting, first of all, how old I am and how long we've been doing Eye Candy Quilts. And so like when you do this and you see people year after year for what are we on, 13, 14 years now, is
Yeah,
like
yeah.
there's a lot of just random knowledge things you accumulate and none of it bad. So it's just sort of funny all the things you pick up about people about, okay, well, I remember this person's favorite candy and I remember this person went to Australia at this time, like just all the
And
things.
yeah, and whenever you have those touch points, and so it's random community where you meet online, and then when you meet in
Mhm.
person, it's like the last time we were talking, you had a 2-year-old, and like I'm like my kid's like 12 now. Like
I know.
I know all those gaps of space and time that happen. Yes.
Yeah, he's giant. Oh, and the funny thing with the 5-year-old, the 18-month-old and the dog, they all weigh the same amount.
Yeah.
Like everyone is the same size right now, so it's
Oh
just
my gosh.
chaos.
It just heavy.
It's just
Just
chaos. Mhm.
all right. So last question for you. So
What's
for those folks out there that are looking to get into being a pattern designer,
okay?
what advice would you give them?
Read patterns.
Okay, tell us about that.
So here's the thing is that there is no right way to be a pattern designer. And anyone who tries to tell you there is trying to sell you something. And I
Okay.
think we all need to be very aware of that fact. So
Mhm.
there are, just like there's however many different ways to make a quilt, there's however many different ways to explain it. So you need to be able to explain your pattern in a way that someone else can follow. So you can't just be only in your head, but I think you need to remember that it is your voice, your business if you go that way. So it needs to still be you. So
Mhm.
if you are trying to make a pattern that looks or sounds like someone else, it is not you. It is not your art. It is, imitation is the best form of flattery, all of that stuff. That's true to a point. If you are trying to make something, you need to still be you. So
Mhm.
read a bunch of patterns, see, make notes about what you like, what you don't like. Um, the not fun thing, get a printer and like as in when you print patterns, see what it's going to cost you and make
Oh,
some decisions there.
that price tag, it crushes me every time I hear that number.
It does. And but the thing is that it also is freeing in some way because it's like, okay, I have a guideline now. It was
Mhm.
like, this is I know what I have to do. And then what can I do within this space? Because sometimes it's harder to just do, oh, I can do anything and everything, and then you get stuck
Mhm.
because now what do I do if I can do everything? So,
Right. Right.
sometimes guidelines are not a bad thing.
Mhm. Well, and in the legal sense on this topic as well, right? The image is not what's copyrighted. It's the instructions to
Right.
make the image, right?
Yeah.
And so the more unique you can make that voice, the more you can differentiate it, the more it becomes your art. It becomes your work. It becomes
Right.
something that you own. So I like the idea of doing the market scan of like, what do you like? What do you not like? I
Yeah.
know that, there's a super simple patterns, which are literally just blocks and tell you dimensions with no written, with no words.
Hmm.
Not everyone learns that way. And then I've also
Right.
seen the patterns that are like, here's my blog about everything I did the day I was working on this block.
Right.
And trust me, it's sewing together and it's narrative. I am an engineer. I need a checklist.
Right.
But the narrative works, right? If you're learning and your voice is to narrate and inject yourself in the pattern, then write
Mhm.
that way for sure.
It's true, and maybe the thing if you give it to, then it gets into the bigger conversation about, oh, sample makers and other stuff that we're
Mhm.
not gonna exactly
Yeah,
touch on.
that
But
was a spiral. Yes. Mhm.
but if you have someone, it goes back to you can't be only in your own head.
Mhm.
So if you want it to be your voice, but you need to be understandable by other people. So again, like Eye Candy Quilts is me and my mom. So I'm very much in my head and I know what I mean, but does someone else who is not in my strange little noggin know what I mean?
Yes. Yes.
So whether that's someone that you trust that is experienced or someone that's new that you don't want to have to explain everything, but can they get it? Like you need to have other eyeballs on your work. And however you do
Yes.
that, that's up to you.
And I
But
mean, really anything, right? I remember my very first big mistake doing this business. We printed a sticker and it had the word fabric on it. And I was so excited. I had no money. I'm going to print this sticker and we're going to give them away. And like, I only have $600 in the bank and it's like $400 to print these stickers. And
mm-hmm.
I misspelled the word fabric and I
Mm,
spelled it FARIC. And I'm like, oh my God, like $400 of the only $600 I have is gone. And
yeah.
it's like, if I'd have gotten that second set of eyes, right, like saved, right? So you have to figure it out and get back to the beginning. But it's like it doesn't matter how many times I looked at that sticker, I missed it, right?
Yeah.
And what do we do here? Fabric, right? Like
I
crazy.
yeah, I have one in my hand that is exactly like that. It's like that then it becomes a marketing opportunity for what do I do with all of this product
Yes.
that I have to
How do I
do
make
something.
it better? Yes. All right. So
Yes.
Annalise, tell everyone how they can find you. How can they find you on that? Because you are to my side note, you are amazing on TikTok, right? You
Oh,
are
thank you.
crushing it on the TikTok. I love everything you're doing there. So tell everyone how they can find you.
So it's pretty easy. All of our handles are pretty much the same. So we are just Eye Candy Quilts. Eye as an eyeball, not as in a Mac product.
Mhm.
Quilts with an S. So we're on Instagram, we're on TikTok. Facebook is we have a presence there because Meta makes us. We're not really super active on there, but if that's a touch point for you, I do see stuff. It's just not as fast. Website eyecandyquilts.com.
Mhm.
Also have a pet. We have all the things. Just
Mhm.
yeah, that we will get you everywhere. So Eye Candy Quilts, and that'll get you all to all the stuff. We're a little bit weird. We're there's
Yep.
always a lot of things going on.
Yeah, it's
So
great. It's great.
yeah,
It is your social channels are an adventure in your brain and your mom's brain, and I love it.
we are.
Like it is a little bit of everything when you look at it that way. And Anneliese is also a fabric designer. I know we just kind of bounced in and out on that, but she's a fabric designer for Andover. So definitely look her up online, find her fabrics at your favorite local retailer. Go find her fabrics because they are fun and quirky and awesome. And I love every time my rep brings me in, I was like, this is great. I love this. I know Anneliese is
Thank
fantastic.
you. Yeah, we like whatever. So the whole goal with Eye Candy Quilts is we want to make things colorful and we want to make it easy and we don't want you to work that hard to have really cool stuff. So however we can make that happen for you, that's what we try and figure out.
That is amazing. So I want to, before we sign off, I want to show everyone, I got to cover up the code. So these are the patterns that we're featuring from Eye Candy Quilts for this month's classic and modern maker boxes. And you can learn more about her and her mom and all the socials and how to find them. This is amazing. Anneliese, you have been fantastic. Thank you so much for your time today.
Of
You have a
course.
great rest of your day. Oh, and she's in Nebraska where it's snowing. We are in, you said 6 inches of the 12 forecast. We're in
Yeah.
St. Louis. They're forecasting 0 to 56 inches over the next 24 to 96 hours. So I don't
Oh
really
my.
know what's going to happen, but you know what? It's St. Louis. Like we're kind of used to it by now.
Yeah. Yeah. It was
Yes.
like I took my kids to daycare this morning and no other kids were there because they're all home. I'm like, mommy has to go talk to fabric people. You have to go play now. So
Huh? But those are the good, that's good days. Those are good.
no,
Those are
no, they're
memories.
fine.
Yes.
They're fine.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Anneliese. It was lovely talking with you. And for all of our viewers, if you have any questions, pop them into the chat and our team will get them the right direction. All right. Thank you
Sounds good.
all. Bye.
Thanks.